Milestone Radio. You listen to my daddy.
What's good, my listeners? You tuning in to Milestone Radio with your voice of logic and reason, Conscience Prep. Checking in with you guys on this quarantine. Hope that everyone is in great health, great spirit, practicing social distancing. Please practice your social distance. It's nothing wrong with this, nothing wrong with solitude. It's a lot of things that can be done on quarantine, and that's what this topic is basically all about. It's a lot of the things that, throwing out options of things that can be done on quarantine, just to give you an idea of not necessarily what I feel is logical, but, where it would benefit, where it would help. I know a lot of us, our kids are not in school. The younger kids, the older kids, some of them, older kids, I believe high schools and junior highs, they have tablets, online learning classes with their instructors, their professors, their teachers. They still have a curriculum they can follow and be okay by the end of the school year or this semester or whatnot. But for the ones that are at home, do not have that opportunity. What are you doing? Like, how are you educating? What are you teaching your kid? Are you even teaching your kid? And it's not that I have to question you, but just out of curiosity, I do wonder, like, do people feel like, man, my kids are out of school, let me just throw them in front of YouTube or, set them in front of the TV and allow certain channels to play educational videos or whatnot for a couple hours of the day and say, okay, cool, you're done. Now go play, go watch your videos, go do whatever it is you want to do as a kid and have fun. But are you as a parent, a responsible parent, a parent that knows from experience in life, a lot of schools, well, actually schools, period, especially when it comes to the black community, they don't teach everything that we felt we should have learned. And it's a lot of the black community when they wake up, as far as, the spiritual awakening, consciousness, epiphany, new understanding in life and reality of what's really going on. You're like, man, I didn't learn nothing about my black history in school. Not real black history. I mean, yeah, it's cool. You tell us about the civil rights and, some of the things that went on in the trade, but they really did not specifically go into detail of how the slave trade went down, the plantations, what happened when, they went to Africa and took people against their will. So, I wonder, you as a parent, do you feel like now that I have the opportunity to teach my kid since they're at home, I'm going to order a lot of real books from Amazon, educational books that I feel like my child should know, my daughter, my son should know, whether they're a teenager or an adolescent. You can buy the books and tell them, I need you to read these. I want you to read these, and when you read them, tell me what else. Tell me what you got out of that book. Summarize it. You don't have to give me an essay, but I just want to know, did you retain it when you was listening to it or when you was reading it? I like to read. I'm not an audiobook guy. I know this generation is big on audiobook or audiobook. I'm more of a reader. I like to, look at the words and really go through the pages and turn pages, because it's just a different connection for me. It's like when, like these videos, for example, my segments, I feel like when you see me, you have a better connection. You can understand me more. You see me. So it's like, okay, I can relate to him and I see his position. I see what he's doing, aside from listening. Listening is cool, but I mean, the connection is just not always as deep, but it is deep. It is deep. It can be deep, because I mentioned, like before, when it comes to people, and this is another topic, when it comes to people getting acquainted, you can better connect with a person when you're speaking to a person also directly, just a different way of engaging, really stimulating each other. So yes, these audios, they can stimulate you, if it's the right content, if it's something that, you feel, okay, I got something out of that. I can understand. I can relate. I feel that, and it sounds real. It's backed up. It's validated. Okay, for sure. Then you connect, and that's what it is. But I like to read. I like to read books, and I order books. I ordered some books lately. A book about psychology, dark psychology. I've taken psychology, but this is another area of, NLP, hypnosis, just techniques and just a different way of understanding people and how to be aware when it comes to dealing with people psychologically, to know a lie or to seek when a person is coming at you with that nonsense, what we call it, that BS. You can sense it. Oh, okay, here comes another one. Here comes this character. And you read right through it. It's like basically just knowing how to analyze. And then I ordered another book that is it's about the black people in the Bible, proven research facts that validate that a lot of people in the Bible have, African blood, Hebrew Israelite, that history. A lot of the characters in the Bible, of Shem, all the way from Shem, to Ishmael, Israel, Jacob, all those, they all have, King David, they all have a bloodline that comes from somebody that was black. But that's a whole nother topic. That's a book that I'm gonna allow my daughter to read, and that's a book that I'm currently reading. I'm just correlating it with the Bible. Like I'm reading it and I'm reading the Bible and I'm just correlating it. And I've read the Bible before, but it's passionate. So like I said, when you read, it's just a certain type of connection that I can establish myself with and feel like, okay, this is real. Let me highlight this. Oh, this is deep. Let me highlight this. This is where that, okay, that's fact. That's when he said that. Okay, then I get my book and read a couple pages, and I'm like, hold on, let me go to that scripture. Wow, that's deep. But back to, the something productive to do in quarantine. What are you taking this opportunity to really teach your kids, to really educate your children? Because I've seen people on social media, and it's about, the kid being fly. I see a lot of people still being good parents or whatnot, to what they throw on the stage to present to people, like, yeah, I'm keeping my kid fly or whatnot, but they not showing that, I got my kid right here learning. I got the what's the board, like the drawing board. Yeah, like a drawing board, where they can do their problems or whatever it is, and maybe have them spelling specifically certain words, a new vocabulary, larger words, where they understand, or just different numbers, teaching them math, and it all varies for particular different age groups, yes. But, what I'm saying is I'm giving you a general analogy of, what options you can be doing or what you should be doing if you're doing it as a parent, especially if you want your kid to know right. It would be bad, it would be sad for children to return to school and, your teachers have to contact you and say, hey, like, they want to tell you in so many words, like, hey, man, what was you doing? Your kid ain't learned nothing when he was gone for these 6 months to a year. Came back to school, man, they still over here being simple, we don't want to say it like that, but you don't want that. You don't want to be looked at like that. You want to be able to educate your kids. You want to give your kids the books and the knowledge that they need. Get them the knowledge that they need. Get them the knowledge that you felt you needed. I feel like my daughter needs to know a lot. I'm going to let her know all types of stuff. The whole thing about the Hebrew Israelites from, I'm going to tell her just certain books. I'm going to let her know what's going on, why we attacked. I'm going to just educate her, about society, sociology. I'm going to teach her stuff that I learned in college, But are you taking the time to really do that? And see, I'm going to tell you, I had brought up I had brought up that I wanted to do a challenge one day. So, I told my wife, I said I wanted to do a challenge. And this challenge was basically, like the topic now, but it was basically a challenge to say I was going to do a challenge, do a video, have, whatever, go live, do a video of me teaching my kid, showing her the book, reading to her, and like basically calling everyone out. Like, hey, don't necessarily stunt for the gram on that moment, just to do that challenge. Make sure you can tell when somebody does it every day, but do it every day. Make sure you're teaching your kid. But, I want you to show that you teaching your kid something different, something beneficial, something new, something real though, concrete, something that, that you researched and you even wanted to learn or you chose to learn and you found out. If you waking up and you have your epiphany, teach it to your kid. It don't matter if they 5, they 6. If they get of age where they understand and they observing you and they listening, you teach them and you bring that knowledge to the table. Okay, we not in school, so look, we gonna sit here for a couple hours. I'm gonna show you these books. I'm gonna show you this book, and we gonna focus on it for a week or two, just to give you understanding. Since it's vocabulary is different. You older. You read faster than your child, so you want to break it down to them the way they understand. You don't want to confuse them, but you want to tell it to them like a story and give it to them real. But get it, allow them to understand, allow them to discern, to decipher, and be receptive for what you're teaching them. Yeah, I wanted to do that challenge, and my wife told me, she was like, I know it. They not even gonna do it. They not gonna eat it up. They not gonna be receptive. They gonna be like, whatever. People is just nonsense parents out there. But I know it's a lot of real good parents. Trust and believe that. When I used to be on social media, I used to follow certain people and they used to post their kids learning every day. And I used to tell like, man, your kids, you are an amazing parent. I used to give a lot of people shout outs. Like, you're an amazing parent. I won't hesitate to tell you. As far as the ones that are not, I just hope that they read between the lines when it comes to following me and what type of postings I'm going to put up. Because the shoe fit, wear it. And it's basically like, if you're this type of parent or if this what you're doing or if your kid is presented this way, your kid could be fly as all outdoors. But sad to say, they could be stupid. Go to school, man, he the fly stupid dude. You fly though, but you stupid. You got girls that like that, but you don't want that. You don't want your kid to be that type. You don't want your daughter to be the type that like them type of dudes. You want them to like education and people that are intelligent. Break that that stereotype. Good girls like bad guys, and opposites attract. We don't have to bring that into the next generation. You don't have to keep that pattern circulating. Educate your kids, raise your kids a certain way, and take this time. And not to mention, this is the time of cleansing yourself mentally. I see people still out there, doing everything they got to do to have fun. They frustrated on this quarantine, this lockdown. But, you got to be careful. It's a lot going on out there. You don't want to jeopardize your health and your well-being, bringing it around to the next person because you're taking it for granted. And a lot of people are taking it for granted. And that should not be the case. I've been inside. I've been chilling. I've been low-key. Yeah, I can get fresh. I can get up and go out and pick me an environment and, and just whatever. Bask in the sun and enjoy life. I mean, they didn't say we can't go outside. We should not be confined to the house. But it's just a matter of how people are interacting with each other. You still have people that are just, grouping and doing what they do. Taking chances, man. I don't feel like, y'all not really being wise about that. But to each his own, that's my opinion. I'm not here to dictate nobody's movements. I just pray that, to the Most High, that my people wake up, be a little more conscious of what they doing, take care, try not to, just be wise, don't be sharing bottles, don't be passing too many blunts, It's a lot of things you can do. Don't be smoking after nobody. Don't be drinking after nobody, and just relax. I'm not, if I come out and I'm around a group, I'll be at my chair. I move around a lot. I don't like to be crowded. I don't like people all in my space. Naturally, I'm like that. I'm not big on people invading my space, my territory. So I move around. I'm gonna get away from you real quick. Like, oh man, let me get up out of here. Man, you too close. People, some people just don't have a way of carrying themselves right. And that's just a sad reality of life. And some people do. I still don't want to be close to nobody. Just relax, back up. I hear you. I hear you from over there. I'm listening. So, if I was to come out, I'll relax with myself. And it's a chosen few. I know how a lot of people think. I know my peoples, they not. I know my peoples. I know they not. They don't got it. That's how people think. That's how my people think. It's probably how a lot of people in general think. Oh, I know my cousin, my homegirls, my friends. She don't got it. I be with her every day. Or I talk to her every day. So, yeah, she pull up. We going to hit this blunt together. We going to flip back shots. It's a lot of that still going on. Just, be careful. Because you don't know what the next person doing that they dealing with. You can't always take that chance. Don't be allowing everybody to kiss on your kids and hug your kids all excitedly as soon as they see them. Don't be allowing your kids to, mingle and do what they used to do with all the kids. It's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made. But for the time being, while everybody's at home, what are you teaching your kids, though? Teach your kids, educate your kids, give them that real knowledge. Teach them everything that you wanted to learn. That's the overall point of this segment. Teach them everything that you wanted to learn. Take this time. That challenge, I'm still considering. I do want to put that challenge out, do a video, be with my daughter. I teach my daughter every day. I have her, she's 5, she's about to turn 6, I have her write sentences, just on the basis of reading, understanding, getting that right, making sure she's right, getting the vocabulary in order, getting her speech, in order. She speaks very well, but even still, as a child, kids speak as a child, they are a child. I'm just taking advantage of, teaching her to speak a certain way that is, very proper, very articulate. That's what it is. I'm here. I'm taking advantage of teaching my daughter in a way where I feel like, man, my daughter gonna be good. I can't wait. When she get back to school, they gonna notice the difference. They gonna acknowledge it. They gonna approve and be like, okay, we see you. And I'm just hoping that everyone else does that with their kids. So, if I was to post a video, it wouldn't be like, you did that today. I have to do it every day. But also, what makes it sad is if people were not to do it, and even on this segment, if you want to comment about it. If people were not to do it, but y'all quick to TikTok. Everyone's TikToking right now. You TikToking off of challenges that are mediocre or ridiculous. Where it's like you did that challenge, burning yourself, pouring alcohol on your body, taking Tide Pods. But if you can't do a challenge where you teaching your sibling, you teaching your child something educational, you showing it like, yeah, this is a positive challenge. I'm educating my kid. I'm teaching them things that I didn't learn. Just post it. But if you able to do dances out to everybody and constantly, like, everyone's doing everything that everyone's being typical. So if you're not typical, I'm pretty sure you'll do the challenge. If you're a good parent, I'm pretty sure you won't hesitate to say, hold on, I got you. Matter of fact, I'm reading this to my daughter. I'm reading this to my son. I'm showing them this knowledge. And it's a good book. You should look into it. Oh, that's a good book you're showing them. I might get that and read that to my daughter. Also share. Each one teach one. I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, I just want to make sure, we teaching our kids the things that need to be learned. We're taking advantage of this quarantine to do what, we feel is, is right for the benefit of our future and our child's future. The Most High, the Creator, God, which I believe in. Excuse me if you're agnostic or if you're atheist. Hey, to each his own. But, God, He wants us to teach the kids right, to guide them right. So take advantage of that. Don't just be like, oh, well, I'm not teaching them negative, but I'm not teaching them at all. Ah, man, teach them, Teach them what's right. You know, it's a lot of people I see having kids, and it's a lot of kids people that I know that have kids that are of age of learning. Educate them, teach them, you know. Mindstone Radio, man. It's your friend. It's your brother, Conscience Prep. Checking out.
You better think about it.